because this is the thing. This is what I'm doing, essentially. It's using the platform that I've been given. I was on MTV and I was talking about green issues. MTV is not the right platform to be talking about these things. But it was from there that I had millions of viewers across Asia who were responding to that. So yes, I think there is space for it there, but not in that particular program that you mentioned, Big Brother, yeah.
Do we have any more questions? Gentleman down the front here.
Yeah, my name is Charles. I just have a short question for Nadia and Graham. You mentioned a lot about walking the talk. What does it have to do with vegetarianism? Because I read a lot on Tree Hugger, and you in favor for that for sure. Does it really mean that being green is favoring a local, organic, healthy food eating diet and vegetarianism? Thanks.
Absolutely.
And you, Graham? Are you a vegetarian?
I'm a weekday vegetarian. And
I'm not full vegetarian, by the way. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm not 100% vegetarian. I was, but due to allergies and diet restrictions, I'm not fully vegetarian. I don't cook meat. I don't handle meat. My kids do eat some meat. My youngest is vegetarian. But one of the key messages that I do speak about all of the time, because food is my passion, is changing your diet, because it's the easiest way, I feel, for an individual to adjust their carbon footprint is by eating less meat. And it's the simplest thing. The average Joe can't go out there and may not be able to buy solar, may not be able to buy an electric car, may not be able to do all of those things, but everybody eats 3 times a day. Everyone. Sometimes people eat once a day. But those meals, if they start to reduce their meat, they're reducing their carbon footprint, because meat travels. Meat has to be fed, meat has to be watered, they have got excrement, they have got methane gas coming out from them. They have to be transported in refrigeration, sometimes they fly, and then they're refrigerated once they get to your house. So meat is really, 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 really heavy. Meat and cheese are the easiest ways to reduce your carbon footprint by cutting them out.
So I have a 5-minute talk on the TED Talk on TED.com, which is about weekday vegetarianism. So, yeah, absolutely. Meat is not a very efficient way for us to get our calories. We don't actually need meat, most of us. We can live perfectly healthily. There are many super athletes who are vegetarian, and so it's absolutely possible. An easy way to reduce your footprint also uses a lot of water. So what I propose is that I think a lot of meat eaters are very opposed to being told what to do, largely, and they really like meat, and so they don't want to make that jump, or they say, oh, I will, but later, and that later never comes. So I suggest weekday vegetarianism, because it cuts down by like 70%. You can still get some meat on the weekends, which can be good for certain people for their health, and so it's a good way to get a lot of the way there. So yeah, it's an easy thing, a daily thing that you can do, and yeah, I believe very much in it.
I say flirting with being vegetarian. Just flirt with it. Flirt with the idea.
I am going to start to wrap up, and I don't want us to lose focus about why we're sitting up here, and I'm going to ask everyone 60-second elevator pitch and I'm going to time you, about what you think a solution or a type of media application is in advancing a solution for the planet. And you can choose anything you want, but something that you feel that people here could take away and look further into in some way, shape or form. So I'm basically saying in 60 seconds, can you give us a roundup of where you think the future of the media is going and how it can affect change on the planet for good in our arena?
60 seconds.
Here we go.
It's been a very fascinating experience for me, interesting to hear models for the media which are very true and which are generic. I suppose if I had been invited to, was it Cancun last year or London next time, the discussion would be the same. Very high quality, very global, very normative. But we are in Indonesia, and Indonesia is one of the 3 countries with the most risk for forest degradation, and one of the major countries for reducing the consumption of carbon. And I would love to see a parallel conference discuss how the media should behave in Indonesia and how the $1 billion from Norway and hundreds of millions from other countries could be put to use into making the media effective here. Because we're not yet at the stage where we can discuss types of programs. We're at the stage of restructuring the ownership of the media to be shifted from those who are against the programs in the environments, which are the status quo, and the business who find it useful to continue their work. So I would love to go to a conference zeroed in on the problems of this big, big country. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, 60 seconds.
60
So I think media can be very powerful in helping people to understand the why, so the background of things, and the how. It can help people provide them the tools to understand the various options in green so that they can choose the one that's most appropriate for them. So I think media can help understand the why and help you understand the how. So we can really help people move through from understanding to actual action, because that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about talking, we're talking about action. The only way we're going to reduce our footprints is not by reading about it, is by actually doing something. The other really valuable part about media is building these social norms. And so I think we can do a lot. So I think that's how media can be powerful.
55 seconds.
I think building on the social norms topic, the media needs to be responsible in terms of finding those people who are creating the social norms, look for the inspiring people and the inspiring stories, and make sure that those are the stories that they support and broadcast, and to be part of change, and business has to be there to support. I mean, I'm just reiterating what was mentioned earlier anyway. Yeah, and to stop just looking for that quick cash, flash, trash, for lack of better words.
Media is a business. They're motivated by revenue and money and profits. They get that primarily from advertising. Today in this room, there's advertisers from Intel, Michelin, Pepsi, GE. If they just now started focusing some of that $100 billion spent across the region in advertising and making sure they don't just buy on effectiveness, but actually start buying on quality of messaging, quality of programming, and putting that as a factor in their decisions, we could start to influence the media to drive the conversation. So take away the money, and we might have a better chance of influencing the conversation. Keep buying trash, keep supporting trash, keep sponsoring trash, and you know what we're going to get? Trash.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Thank you very, very much, everyone. Just to quickly round up in my 60 seconds, there's been some fantastic views up here from very, very different areas of the media, and I remember something when I was very, very young, and it comes back down to advertising and a broad campaign that happened when I was a child, and Matt, you might remember this. Back in Australia, there was a campaign when I was young called "Don't Throw It, Stow It." And it was just this weird line that they came up with, and it was blanketed across every media source that we had in Australia. To this day, 46 years on, I cannot throw something out of my car window or my wife's car window. I can't put something on the ground. I cannot litter. That has been instilled in me from a very, very young age. And I think what the media has the ability to do now in so many different applications is blanket those really beautiful, simple messages to people and make it part of the norm, as you said.